Look, I'm not really sure how to start this video. I don't have any sort of dramatic opening unlike my game concept videos. I just really want to talk about Echoes of Wisdom's story. The algorithm probably won't like that, but hey, I'm in this for a hobby, not a job. I'll start by stating the expectations I had for Echoes of Wisdom's story, then cover my first expectations for Tears of the Kingdom's story, then I'll say my opinions on Tears' story, followed by how I think Echoes surpassed it. And remember, these aren't objective. I don't know how to transition between scenes when I'm not doing any cool editing, so maybe I'll just cut to black. By the way, this covers all spoilers for both games. I hope that was obvious. Anyways, after seeing the Echoes of Wisdom reveal trailer, I was very excited for the game, but I wasn't thinking about the story at all. Sure, I figured the opening where Link defeats Ganon would be a red herring, but I didn't really theorize any further. Honestly, my first thought was, I don't see Nintendo making a brand new villain. It'll probably end up being a secret ploy from Ganon. So I did not see the plot twist with Noel coming until I had actually started the game. I did expect the Triforce. The name of the game referencing Zelda as the holder of the Triforce of Wisdom made that kind of obvious to me, kind of a given. I don't know why they call it the Prime Energy, especially when there's a character literally named Tri, as in Triforce. I don't know, a video for another time maybe. Anyways, like I said, that was it for expectations for Echoes of Wisdom's story. But the expectations for Tears of the Kingdom, those were high, and there's several reasons for that. Okay, so I was theorizing a lot more for Tears than I did for Echoes of Wisdom, and the first reason for that is because there was a lot more time between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. 6 years of watching Zelda YouTubers like Zeltic or Nintendo Black Crisis give their theories on the Zonai, whether or not the Triforce would be in the game at all, what kind of story it would be to have Zelda and Link together again finally, what Ganondorf's characterization would be, stuff like that. It was exciting seeing those trailers come out. This was all especially potent considering that Breath of the Wild was my first Zelda game. So once that hooked me, I got into the lore of the other games, started playing them, got a Lego set. I know the lore of this series very well now. So I'm like, okay, so we saw the whole Triforce on Zelda's hand, so we've got to address that in Tears of the Kingdom. There's no way it's going to be ignored again. Everything got me excited, it got me super hyped, I got the game, and I finished the game, and I liked it. Yeah, anyone who watches the channel knows that I actually really like Tears of the Kingdom's story. Despite the major differences from my expectations, I still enjoyed the story for what it was. Zelda becoming a dragon was kind of out of left field, and it was a very emotional scene. Everything about the Secret Stones was intriguing. The entire ending of the game felt cathartic, with Link seemingly finally defeating Ganondorf. Everything was great, but as many people have complained, there were far more questions than answers. Still, nothing about the Triforce, despite it appearing again on Zelda's hand when she healed the Master Sword. However, I did have two major complaints about the story. Firstly, despite her importance to it, we again didn't get to see Zelda interact with any of the main characters of the game that we've known since Breath of the Wild until the post-credits scene. We heard about her going around the entire kingdom between games and going to different towns and setting up these calamity memorials, but we didn't get to play it. We didn't see her interact with Link between the beginning and end of the game either, which segues into my next major complaint. Link looks like he couldn't care less about what's going on in this game. He sees a vision of who is presumably the love of his life transforming into a dragon, from which there is apparently no return. And he stands there like this. He has more emotion cooking a good meal in this game. I get wanting him to be a silent protagonist, but that doesn't mean an emotionless protagonist. He doesn't need to scream in anger after finding out that she transformed into a dragon. That's not what I'm saying. He's shown himself to be very composed in this game, in both games. But maybe walking over to one of the rocks that was nearby and just kind of punching it or something. Have him look up at the dragon with like just some furrowed eyebrows. I don't know. Literally anything besides this. Okay, I'm done ranting about Tears of the Kingdom. Time to talk about why I like Echoes of Wisdom so much more. It's because Echoes of Wisdom fulfills several things I wished for in Tears of the Kingdom that I already mentioned. Like I said, I'm really glad that the Triforce came back, especially in the scene where it splits into 3 parts. That's just pure classic Zelda. My next favorite thing is seeing Hyrule from Zelda's perspective. That aspect of Tears of the Kingdom was sorely missed for me. I was hoping to see her directly interact with the citizens more, only to have her snatched away again. This time we get to see how both the citizens of Hyrule treat her and how much they appreciate her. Despite her being cloaked for the first half of the game, I also really love the scene where Tri asks Impa what thank you means, since everyone keeps telling Zelda that. It's especially great since that comes back around at the end when Zelda and Tri part ways. Zelda's interactions with the king and his left and right hands also show how much they care for her. The king was shown as having a bit of a strained relationship with Zelda in Breath of the Wild, so it's nice to see them having such a good father-daughter relationship here. Link was very good in this game, despite not being in it much. I love that there's a canonical reason for his muteness in this game. It justifies his solemn, silent swordsman character that within the world, instead of just him being the player's stand-in. I also appreciate that they didn't have to dumb Link down to make Zelda seem stronger or anything, because halfway through the game, after fighting dozens of monsters using just your echoes, Zelda is saved by Link, and he's using a stick. He was surviving in the still world with a stick. That's insane. Not to mention the fact that as a child he saved himself and other kids from his village from the still world. And the fact that unlike some games where a helper NPC doesn't help much during like a boss fight, Link definitely takes on a lot of the burden in the final boss. Finally, I'll briefly discuss Noel, the new villain created for this game. He's very intriguing. He's portrayed as almost an equal to the 3 golden goddesses in terms of power level, unlike Demise and Skyward Sword, who was kind of more on Hylia's level, I think. I love new additions to Zelda lore, and Noel is great. I want to make a separate video diving into his backstory once the game's been out for a while. He's also definitely just a Kirby villain. I hope other people who have played Kirby saw that as well, because, I don't know, everything about it was Kirby. But still, great. Have I got a couple nitpicks on the story? Sure. I personally didn't feel it in the moment, but was Darstan kind of just Yunobo again? Yeah. Was the lack of a central Deku Scrub character a little disappointing? Sure. Was Conde too childish? No. Don't say a word about Conde. Another thing that I don't really know where to put besides at the end, I predicted a lot of stuff in this game in a video from last year called How a New 2D Zelda Game Could Work. I predicted the Gerudo, 2 separate Zora tribes being in the same game again, the Great Deku Tree, and the Yeti returning for the next 2D Zelda game. And not just those, I explicitly said that a small village to the south of Castletown would be where Link lives. That's pretty cool, at least for me. I doubt anyone else cares, but I just wanted to throw that in at the end. See you later. Okay, a couple other things that I forgot to put in the script. I also really like that Zelda has like a hero outfit and a hero theme in this game. That's cool. I like it a lot. And I don't care what Arlo says, the music is amazing. Goodbye.